Hey guys, so I wanted to sit down and talk with you about some of the more positive experiences that I've had whilst living here, because I feel that maybe with some of the stories that I tell you, because it's like the crazier times that I've had here, I feel I'm scaring some people and I really don't want that to happen. It's just sometimes when crazy things happen to you, you're more likely to remember them and then talk about them. But that doesn't mean to say that living here, some of the things that have happened to me are going to happen to you. Everybody's experience is going to be different and differ oh my gosh, I forgot how to English just then. Every person's experience is going to vary vastly. So for me, the crazy experiences and the crazy bad things that I've had happen to me, they probably happen like once a few months. They didn't even happen like all the time. It's not every day, it's not every week. It was like these random experiences and these random occurrences that I had that happened, and I told you about them. But that doesn't mean that if you come here, that's necessarily going to happen to you, because you could have a worse experience than me and you can have a really fantastic experience where nothing bad happens to you. But that's just life, and things are going to happen to different people. It doesn't really mean much. But I wanted to talk to you about the more positive things because I wanted to talk about that. I don't have any one certain story or a collection of stories about positive experience that I've had. It's just the little things that I think should still be highlighted. So I'm going to kick it off by talking about, I guess, friends, because when you're here, you're going to make like a connection with people, and you're going to have a network of people because they're going to kind of become your family away from your real family. You're all away from home and you all have this, you know, one thing in common. You're living abroad in Korea and you're all kind of having a very similar experience. So you're going to find that you make very deep connections with people. You're going to have a different routine that you might not have back home. Like, in my area here, you've met Cindy. Cindy's my really good friend, and I have a lot of other good friends that, you know, I can call up, I can go and crash at their place, and I don't even really have to ask. I'm like, I'm coming down this weekend, and it's a given that I'm going to stay with you, basically. The connections that you make with people here and the friendships that you have are really going to help to enrich the experience that you have. So for me, it's traveling with people and going on adventures, trying new foods, and just doing a lot of things and having certain routines that I wouldn't have necessarily had at home. Like, for instance, I would, after dinner, it's a very big coffee culture here, so after dinner we just go to the cafe and sit and talk and just chill and really bond over things, and that's really helped to enrich my time here, and it's something that I'm thoroughly enjoyed and I'm gonna miss when I leave. I feel like I've really lucked out with the school that I've got. I had so many horror stories about people who didn't get on with their co-teachers and have had very bad experiences, but I haven't really experienced that at all. When I got to my school, I felt very, very welcomed, and that really put me at ease because I was freaking out over just the smallest of things, like, am I going to get along with people, and, you know, are they going to be out to get me? But that's not the experience I've had. Now, I've had my ups and downs with my co-workers, well, a couple of them, but it's nothing that has been a bad thing or a bad experience in my working time in Korea, and they've gone out of their way to help me and be really, really welcoming to me, and that's something that I'm really, really grateful for, because it really helped to put me at ease and made my experience a fantastic one. If I got a bad score, having to go to work and those 8 hours every day would have been hell, but because like everyone at my school has been really nice to me, like even the administration, which is what we call the secretaries at the school, we have like shoe cupboards, for instance, and my shoe cupboard used to be at like the bottom one, and one of the administration ladies, she saw me like having to get my shoes, and then the next day I saw my shoe cupboard had been moved up a level, and my co-teacher had told me that she didn't want me to be bending over because I'm so tall. I have to bend over so low, which is very true because I have to go and I have to get my shoes and I'm just not very bendy, and she saw that and she just tried to help me out a little bit. So it's just those little things, or like some homeroom teachers who would see me and the ones who can speak English, you know, trying to make conversation with me, or when, you know, I would be walking to work and one would see me on the way, she'd stop her car and like let me get in and drive me all the way to school. Like that's happened a few times with various other teachers, and it's just those little things that really felt good. If I'm going to talk about school, I can't forget about speaking about the students as well. I remember when I first got there, a lot of them were very shocked at my appearance, and I even had a couple of students who were a bit scared, if I'm going to be honest, were a bit scared to actually look at me, which did hurt a little bit. But after, you know, a few months, as time went on, and I tried to be as friendly as possible and have a lot of energy in class, the students, they opened up a lot to me and they became very comfortable around me. There was no fear of me anymore. Even some of them would go out of their way to talk to me if I was just like sitting in the English office before class started. They'll kind of surround me and, you know, talk to me, or if I was playing on my phone, like, teacher, what are you doing? So there wasn't any of that fear anymore, which is fantastic. I really enjoy the interactions that I get with my students. I especially love it when they give me candy, or not when they tried to give me sour candy one time and they thought they were being slick. I was like, I can read it. It says sour candy in English. I'm not eating. Like, teacher, just eat it. And I'm like, no, I see what you're doing and I'm not going to go along with this. I've had a student who, when we had English camp, he came up and his mother had made kimchi for me. So that was like, oh, so nice. Or I remember I went to the homeroom one time and I saw a red onion, which I can't really find off, like I can't really seem to find it in places here. I saw a red onion and I asked the homeroom teacher and she said this student had brought it in, and I will ask her mother where she got it from. So she went out of her way, messaged the mother to find out where she got the red onion from, and the mother said that the grandmother actually grew them. So I just like, okay, that's cool. I'm gonna have a harder time of finding them. I didn't really think anything of it. The next day I was photocopying some stuff, and this homeroom teacher came up to me with the student who had brought in the onion, and the mother had gotten a whole bag of red onions for me, and I was like, I was so shocked that they went out of their way to be so kind to me and get these red onions. They didn't have to do that. It was like the next day they got these red onions for me and they brought it to me. So the homeroom teacher gave me the mother's number and I texted her like to thank her for giving that to me, and that was just awesome. My friend and I eat out a lot in our area, and so some of the shop owners have come to recognize us, and sometimes they give us stuff for free, for like, call it service, like a free bottle of Coke or like a side dish, a lot of free stuff actually. And it's something that I think foreigners get a lot, because some of my Korean American friends say that the only time they get to experience foreigner perks is what we've dubbed it foreigner perks, but the only time they get to experience that is if they're eating out with other like foreigners who don't look Korean, because they won't get that because they look straight up Korean, they're Korean American, so they won't get those foreigner perks. But as foreigners we tend to get that because I guess maybe they're like grateful that we have come into their establishment to try their food, and they're very happy about that, so they give us free stuff. But I have found that in my area some of the shop owners do that a lot with us, and I've even become friends with some of them. I say friends because there's a bit of a language barrier, so you can't really communicate too much past the basic hello and I would like to order this, but they will ask you how are you and all this kind of stuff. And I actually have egg bread lady. So if you don't know what egg bread is, it's awesome. It's like a bready, cakey kind of thing with an egg in it. It sounds really basic, but it's awesome. And there's a lady who sells it in my area, and I started going to her like a couple winters ago, maybe last winter, yes. And she owned the flower shop then. In the winter she converts it to like a little street food snack thingy. So I started going to her, and then eventually now when I go and like get an egg bread, she tries to get me to stay there and have some hodok or odeng to eat. And she, even though I clearly terrible at Korean, she still tries to have conversations with me, and she doesn't have a huge reaction if I'm saying stuff in Korean. She just kind of is very patient with me and is like, oh, okay, like she responds with what I'm saying. It's like, oh my gosh, you said hello in Korean. It's a very natural conversation that we have. I remember one time I went into her little what do you call it, street food stand thingy, and there was like, I guess her friend was there, and I walk in and she goes, oh, this is my friend, and I was like, oh, that was so cute. And her friend was like, didn't really seem bothered, but it was such a nice gesture. It was a nice thing to say. And then she gave me some free egg bread as well. Like, she loves giving me free stuff, so sometimes I'll be walking by and she's like, come over here, here's some hot dog, and I'm like, oh, thank you. And then I run off and go and have my hot dog somewhere at home. So like I said, not everyone's experience is going to be the same as mine, but I have found that people, because you are here, they're very intrigued about you being here, and they're very surprised that you would come to their country. They tend to be, some people tend to be very accommodating to you and very welcoming with open arms. That has been my experience of the positive aspects so far. And like I said, everyone's experience is going to differ, but from what I have come to find through my experiences is that people are so shocked that you have come all the way to their country and you're like, or you're trying to learn the language, that they are very accommodating and very open and friendly. Not everyone obviously is going to be like that, but some of the people that I have come across have been very open and accommodating to me, so it has definitely enriched and helped my experience. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed that video, and if you guys who said that you're too scared to come or Korea sounds scary, I really hope that maybe this video has changed your minds a little bit, because my intention has never been to scare you guys. It has always been to be as informative as possible. So with this video, I wanted to give, you know, two sides to this face of Korea, I guess. So that was this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I will talk to you all next time. Bye.